So let's go back to when our good brother said that you know, all this.
You know, he was it.
All this ain't what a woman look like. We come in all different shapes and sizes.
For sure.
Colors and tones.
Most definitely.
Lengths. Some long lengths, some short lengths. You know, that's not up for a man to say
No.
at all. But I know I always like to ask our guests, what is a song or soundtrack? What's the soundtrack of your life? And I know you're going to give it to me good. You're going to give it to me good. What is the soundtrack of your life that explains your journey of what God has called you to do and called you to impact and emphasize? Like, what is that?
It is Video by India Ari.
Listen.
Not the average girl. But I used to be like, not the average girl. She says, not the average girl on the video. I'm like, not the average girl on the video show, right? I'm not the average girl on the video show. And then when she gets to the part where every freckle on my face is where it's supposed to be, I'm like, did she just write that for me?
Yeah, she did.
She wrote it for me.
Did you ever tell her?
I did not tell her.
Oh, we gotta tell her.
And I've had the opportunity. I've been in her space, and I did not tell her.
Oh, you gotta tell her. You gotta tell her. So, India Ari, we letting you know, you wrote that song for Shelly Shell, right?
For me. Yes. I mean, definitely for me, because I'm not the average girl. You know, and when I got on there, on that TV, I wasn't looking like anybody else. And that back at that point, there wasn't a lot of plus size women representing back then. So I was really the one that had to have it on my shoulders.
Yes.
And I remember moments when in a music studio, they were literally sitting there talking about me, didn't know I was upstairs, and the friend of mine was in the studio, and they were like, that girl Shelly just talking about my weight. But then they would say she good, but they would just talk about my weight. And I'm like, that's all y'all had to talk about? But then again, thank you for talking about me.
Right.
Because guess what? Everybody know who Shelly Shell is.
Yes.
And I thank you for doing that. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me that.
Because we absolutely know. They reminded you. They reminded everybody else. And I really do feel as though that what you stood on allowed other women to be able to make it through those moments where they would kind of, duck down and be fearful and be shy in those moments. But now, listen, this is who I am. I'm showing up. I'm showing out. I'm loud. I'm proud. And you can't take away what God has given me at all. And I definitely do thank you for that because, I got a little bit thick over the years, and sometimes I was just like, all right, like, what we doing with this?
What we doing? But you know what?
What we doing with this?
I still love I've always loved myself beyond what will look or anything like that. I loved myself for who I was, period. Yes. But the internal me.
Yes.
So whenever anybody would say something, the first thing my mom would say was, she would like, but are they nice people? Are they good people? Are they
what
kind?
Are we focused
like,
on?
Are we kind people? And she said, look at you. You're a good person. You're kind. And she kept putting that in my head. And it was about my character. It didn't even matter what I looked like. So I love, even though I was shy and introvert, I still loved myself.
It's the content of your character. Like, you definitely do live out what you preach. You practice what you preach. That's one thing I can definitely say. And I've said that every time that I have mentioned you in a room, as far as, like I said, you answering my message and really having a conversation with me, even to today, coming onto the show and just sharing and being transparent. I'm so appreciative. And I definitely know that your story is going to impact so many women to just be able to let go and let God and say yes.
Say yes.
Say yes. Say yes where you are. Say yes to Him. And say yes to your God-given purpose, because you never know where it can take you. It's going to take you to a place that only you can imagine, because God has put it inside of you. And He's just really waiting for you to really just fulfill your dreams. So that's what we're here for. We're here for those women that have those unfulfilled dreams. They just need a little push.
Just a push. Come on.
Just a little push.
And I hope this is that push they need, because I was that one, and I'm watching God do some amazing things. I mean, I'm a best-selling author. I'm about to be a doctor. I get my doctorate in August.
Yes,
Like,
you do.
I'm like, God, only
What we gonna
God.
call you, Dr. Shelley, Dr.
Dr.
Shelly
Dr. Shelly
Shell,
Shell.
Dr. Shelly Shell.
I'm just grateful for everything that I wanted, how I wanted it. I didn't even speak it out of my mouth, but God did it. It was a thing that I knew back in the day, like, this is what I want. I want this. And then all of a sudden,
It's here.
It's here. It's like, I didn't talk about it, but God knew.
Yes, he did.
So I'm thankful. I'm grateful. So thank you. It's
Thank
so
you.
great to be here. I'm so glad to be here with you.
I'm glad.
Yay.
I'm glad. I'm excited. We can talk all day. We was talking before this. We're going to talk after this, too.
We're going to talk.
We're going to talk. So thank you, everyone, for tuning in to My Life Unveiled. We want to make sure that you like, comment, and share everything that we're doing with B3 Media. And we'll see you next time on My Life Unveiled.
Experience the power of women's storytelling on B3 Media TV.